Hey guys, Walrus here. I got another story for you guys. This one is about when I was a little kid, and I had a really awful teacher. Her name was Miss Arn. Okay, so the story started when I was, 9 or 8, going into grade 3, and school had already started a bit, and I was moving, and had to find a new school. So I went to a school called White Oaks Public School. It was fantastic, I promise. Anyways, my first day, I went to the office and they were gonna get me a new teacher. And a teacher came in and she got me. She said her name was Miss R, and she took me to class. And I sat through the class. She didn't really give me any work, just had me sit in, watch how things worked. Um, and that was my first day. Nothing really happened. But everything started on the second day. I went into class and sat down, and I remember the teacher started handing out some papers, and it was math. It was, whatever, math's easy, right? Adding, subtracting, and I get the paper and I look at it, and on the paper is multiplication, and little Tyler didn't learn multiplication yet. He was a bit of not there yet. I don't know what it was, but I think they must have started in grade 3. I don't think they started in grade 2. I wasn't taught how to do it in grade 2. I look at the paper and I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. I'll do the adding and the subtracting on it, and I'll give it to the teacher and just say, hey, I wasn't taught how to do multiplication yet. So this is how that awful situation went. I did it, I got up and I walked up to the teacher and I'm like, I did the adding and subtracting, and I haven't been taught multiplication yet. And I'm looking at her, and she has registered my words, and she looks so unbelievably angry. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? What is happening? And she snatches the paper out of my hand and starts yelling at me like I did something wrong. And I don't know. Little Tyler had no idea what was happening. He's never been yelled at by a teacher before. So I'm standing there and I was crying, and this was the worst experience, and the whole class is looking, and I'm not having a good time. She then makes me stand up in front of the class, like in front of everyone, and ask for somebody to help and teach me how to do multiplication. Like, I'm just standing there crying, and I'm like, will someone help me? And some guy raises his hand, and I go over and I sit down, and he teaches me how to do it, and I'm just like, all right, but whatever, little Tyler will... What I'm a baby. I cry easily. All right. Now I understand that multiplications, it's easy. I know how to do it now, but I don't know what made her so angry about this. I was on my second day, and she started yelling at me, and little did I know this wouldn't be the last time. So pretty much throughout the next couple months, I just kind of kept quiet, never said anything. I just had to keep to myself. I didn't want to get yelled at again. I didn't tell my dad either. I just kind of kept quiet about it. I don't want anyone to get angry. Now, the next time I remember Miss Arn getting angry at me was, it was like a couple months after the first experience of her freaking out at me. I remember she was bullying a kid, and I don't know why she did this to this guy. He was like a tall, he was really skinny, and he was a really smart guy. I don't know what was wrong with him. She just picked on this one guy for no reason. But I remember we all had to bring in snacks, and I don't remember why. It was just bring in snacks, we can share them with everybody. And this one guy, I won't use his name. He brought in gummy bears for the class. And he brought him in, set him on his desk, and while everyone was leaving for recess... Alright, so I'm going to do an awful voice for her, and I don't know if I'm going to cut this if it sounds as awful as I think it's going to sound. Anyways, she gathers a few students and says, I'm going to take his gummy bears, and you're not going to tell him. Just be quiet about it, and we'll let him get confused about the gummy bears. And little me was just like, I don't think I can do this. This is awful. This person doesn't deserve any of this. I'm gonna be little 8 or 9 Tyler, superhero and save the day. So I went and told him, all right, I know it's not probably the best thing I could have done, but I went up to him. I'm like, man, Miss Arn has your gummy bears. When we get in, just tell her you know she has them. Don't tell her that I told you, because I don't want to get in trouble. So recess ends up ending, and we go in, and as soon as I walk into the class, I see her looking at me, and the student I told that she took his gummy bears is standing beside her, just not looking happy. She's not looking happy, and I sit down, and she looks at me and says, I don't know what is wrong with this teacher. She said this to a goddamn grade 3 kid. She says, are you scared yet? And I look at her, and I'm like, no. And she says, you better be. A teacher said this to a child. It still baffles me to this day to think that a teacher said this to any child ever. Anyways, so she had me sit there and told me to be quiet, don't say anything to anybody. And I remember she told all the other kids, all the snacks that you have, do not give one to Tyler. Don't do it. Like, don't give one to him. Even the kid I told that she took his gummy bears, he didn't give me anything either. I just kind of sat there and didn't get anything for the rest of the day. By this point, I had enough. I'm like, I'm gonna tell my father. I don't want to have to deal with this teacher any longer. I was mustering up the courage. I was gonna do it, and I didn't. I freaked out last second and didn't do it. But I did something the next day. I got up, woke up, got ready for school, waiting for the bell to ring, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go into school today. So I just kind of like walk off to the school playground and start walking home. And I'm like, how am I gonna go home? Like, my dad won't accept the fact that I went home. So I just kind of like wander all of like the streets and stuff around my house. And by this point, my dad must have had gotten a phone call about me missing. Like, there's no Tyler sitting in class. And I'm walking up a street, and then my dad drives up beside me, and he's just like, get in. You need to get in the vehicle right now. I need to take you to school. And I sit in the car, and he takes me to school, and he sits me down before we get to the classroom. He's just like, is there a reason why you skipped, like, you didn't go to class? And I'm like, yes, I hate my teacher. I need her to stop bullying me. I need her to stop doing everything. And so pretty much what happened after that was just my dad ended up talking to the principal and saying, like, this teacher's bullying my child. I need you to tell this teacher what's up, and that if we hear anything else about this teacher, we're leaving. Like, we're getting out of the school. So yeah, pretty much after that, I think the teacher found out that I told everyone. She must have, like, she had to. It was like the principal probably went up to her and said, this student has issues with you. And I just kind of, she didn't really ever say anything to me after that. Like, she gave me work. I didn't do it. She wouldn't say anything to me. And I just went on the rest of the year just kind of quietly and sitting in my chair, not ever saying anything, answering questions. I passed. She didn't fail me or anything. I think she was just kind of like scared of losing her job or something. But yes, that's the worst childhood kind of like memory bundle I have. There are a lot more stories I have from that teacher. If you want to hear more about her, I can make like 2-3 minute, or probably shorter than that, because man, I don't think I have, I don't know, maybe make a little bundle of stories I have of her. I don't know. She's insane, man. She's insane. Anyways, hey, thanks for watching, guys. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit, so it's kind of late right now, and I should probably get on to editing this so I can release it as quick as possible. Yeah, leave a like if you want. And if you want to see more, just say so. Comment, subscribe, anything. Say something, please. I want to know you're there. And if you have any, requests and stuff to talk about, I wouldn't mind hearing them. So, thanks for watching. Bye.